now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and District fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things this year and every year and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends as we reflect on what we're thankful for. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, take over $11,000 off a 2024 Ford F-150. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004296, MSRP of $66,645. Must finance with Ford Motor Company and have a qualifying trade and approved credit. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/13/24. See delivery details.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Mulberry Barbecue is Lincoln's leader in great barbecue, but also is a great choice for your Thanksgiving meal. They have packages available for hot meal pickup on Thanksgiving Day from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to take all the cooking stress out of your day. Call the store for details or to schedule a pickup at 402-937-7114 at 11th and Cornhusker Highway. That's 402-937-7114. Mulberry Barbecue.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in a Wednesday show pre-Thanksgiving. Austin Orman at 1040 Beach Street. He's Strick joining remote. You were on the road yesterday, partner. Made it to your destination safely, I hope.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
All right, good. We always got to make sure that that's locked in because sometimes it gets funny when we deal with the technology of it. Yes, I did make it safely to my destination. I think I'm going to surprise my mom. I was in Phoenix and enjoying everything, and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to sneak into Dallas and surprise her. And if she's listening, I'm busted.
Does Mama Strickland listen?
Mom Strickland pops in and listens from time to time. She loves sports for the connection of it by way of me, but she's not necessarily a big sports connoisseur. So she might pop in or someone might tell her, and I hope they don't. So if you're listening and mom's not here, don't tell her.
It's a surprise. It's a Christmas gift on Thanksgiving, right? Surprise. Keep it under the tree. Keep it wrapped. Do we need a turkey tree to put this Eric Strickland sized gift under?
No, just I know she's going to be cooking some really good food, so I'm looking forward to that part.
Hey, what are you looking forward to most? What does Mama Strickland make that you look forward to every time?
You know, Mom will do fried and baked turkey. She'll put some ham together. Her greens are absolutely phenomenal. She makes these deviled eggs that are to die, to live for.
Right.
She'll make like some either banana pudding or sweet potato pies that are just A1. Yeah, so I love those things about it.
Does she make you red Jell-O instead of cranberry sauce?
No Jell-O. I don't even want to look at either or of them. So I have to smell it, and then I feel some kind of way when I smell it. So no, we're just not going to do that this time.
That's funny. 402-464-5685. This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Nebco and constructors are currently hiring for all positions. They've got immediate job openings for mechanics, as well as laborers, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. They're really looking for mechanics right now. So if you are a mechanic and you want to work for Nebraska's oldest paving company that dates back to 1908, you can check out nebcoinc.com or constructorslincoln.com. They're also looking for some CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete. Apply them today. Start your career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. Text line, we want you involved here all show, 402-464-5685. But with Thanksgiving on the horizon, let's just stick in that vein, Stricky. What is the one Thanksgiving food that you can't live without? If it's not on the table at Thanksgiving, you're slamming your hands on the table and you're walking out. You're so upset it's not there.
My stepmother used to make this, and others have made this too, and it's a sweet potato casserole. Okay, and you put a little bit of brown sugar on the top of it, let it bake over it, and it gives it that kind of hardness to it. Sometimes you can sprinkle like some walnuts or something on it or whatever, but that stuff is like, and then they put mushrooms, not mushrooms, but marshmallows marshmallows on it, and the marshmallow melts over. Oh yes. Oh, whew. Yeah, that's it. And if I don't see it, I kind of get a little disappointed. Like, people make yams, and the yams are phenomenal. I love those too. But boy, that sweet potato casserole that'd be hit.
Did you like a lot of marshmallow, little marshmallow, some marshmallow?
No, I think you put just enough to just give you a little bit of marshmallow flow on the top. Yeah, it don't have to be, overdone with it. But boy, yeah. A1.
So where are you at with mashed potatoes then? Not sweet potatoes. You take or leave mashed potatoes? You in, you out?
No, I like mashed potatoes. I would say I like more potato salad than actual. I'll eat the mashed potatoes, but I like the sweet, not sweet potato, but the potato salad. Yeah.
See, I'm the exact opposite. It probably won't surprise you. Big mashed potatoes guy. Load them up with gravy. I don't need all the toppings or fixings. Literally just pile of mashed potatoes, couple ladles of gravy, and I'm set. Stricky, I have legitimately tried to get into sweet potatoes. Whether it's the yams, whether it's straight sweet potatoes, whatever, or it's the casserole, because I've had that same thing in my family gatherings for as long as I can remember. I don't know. I just can't do it. I hear potato and I get this image in my head. I get this heuristic. I want a savory potato. I want a French fry. I want a mashed potato. I want a baked potato. I can't hang with sweet potatoes. I can't do it. I'm not touching them.
Yeah, I mean, like, they even have like sweet potato fries. Like, I like those. It gives you just a little bit different taste. And you can eat them with like ketchup and stuff, but I like them like with honey mustard and maybe barbecue. But honey mustard definitely gives it that kind of sweet, but that kind of little bitter. Not bitter, but I don't know, kind of sweet with a little hint of bitter in it. So it gives it a contrast that I like. So yeah, I actually like like those. There's something that I actually like too on that note, which are truffle fries. Oh,
Yes, sir.
man. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
top of the line.
Hit
Top
me
of the
with
line.
it. John in Portland on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Where are you at with sweet potato pie, Strick?
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm all in. I'm all in sweet potato pie all day. You know, like my mom will make like 5 or 6 of them things, and I'll be like, I need just put one of them away because I'll eat the whole thing. And I like to do it. I'll heat it up, and I like to put ice cream on it. So give me a little bit, Oh yeah.
Instead of the marshmallows on the casserole, it's the ice cream on the pie.
Facts.
You going French vanilla, any other kind of ice cream?
Yeah, vanilla, French vanilla. You know, any of the vanilla kinds. Yeah. Go with the natural. They have so many kinds of vanilla. It's hard to say, but I don't care. It's all good. I prefer vanilla. I'm not really a chocolate guy. I don't really like chocolate cake or chocolate ice cream. I don't really like too much of that. So it's more vanilla. I do like Oreo. You know, the Oreo kind. If I'm gonna have some that contrast in it, I like the Oreo with the vanilla. That's fire.
My sister-in-law made homemade vanilla for us last year for Christmas. I could not tell. Like it was really good. Apparently, it's super simple. Like you apparently just need vanilla beans and vodka, and that's how you get like DIY vanilla at home. That kind of blew my mind last year.
Right.
Let's throw this out to you and then to the text line as well. Top 3 Thanksgiving pies. Is sweet potato number 1 for you? And what are the other 2 in the top 3?
Pies. So I like cobbler. And I don't know if you can consider that a pie, but I like cobbler. You can kind of make it with peach cobbler.
Okay.
And then I'll like apple pie. I like apple pie. Those are if I'm gonna go with the pie, it's got to be an apple. And again, I throw the ice cream on it and heat it up. So, and I've been better, Austin, at not as I used to be like a super dessert dude. Like I had to have it after every meal. But you got to think about it. Like when you're playing, you can eat like that and it doesn't affect you. But when you get older, that stuff goes to places that you don't really want it to go to. So I've really moderated myself on eating, and I eat it periodically, now, as opposed to where I used to every week it'd be multiple desserts I'm going to work on. So I just don't eat them as much as I used to. But when I do, it's a night. It's a night of going in.
I respect it. John in Cortland says his top 3 pies are pecan pie, sweet potato pie, and then triple berry pie. John in Cortland, hit us up with what those triple berries are. Gino, you touched my heartstrings, good sir. Without a doubt, lemon meringue. So my grandpa, who passed away earlier this year, this will be our first Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, without him. His favorite pie ever, Strick, was lemon meringue. We always had the, quote unquote, traditional Thanksgiving lemon meringue, the quote unquote traditional Easter lemon meringue pie. So Grandpa Murley, shout out to you, lemon meringue pie, Gino. That is absolutely a fantastic one. Boone and Firth says coconut cream. You a coconut guy?
Can't listen. I don't do coconut. I don't like I don't like it when they shave it, or I can eat a coconut or drink the coconut juice. I just had like there what's that candy bar that they had? Is it Almond Joy? I have
Mounds. Yeah.
Mounds. Yeah, Almond Joy. Okay. Yeah, I could not do it. I just don't know. It don't work with me.
My wife is making a coconut cream pie. I think it's her aunt's recipe. It's been a family favorite going back for a while. I'm with you, Stricky. Not a huge coconut guy. I'm going to be the good husband, right? I'm going to try a piece. I'm going to do what I can, and I'm not going to say it's not going to be good, but I've just never been able to do coconut, and I'm really not a pie guy. Thanksgiving's a tough holiday for me. I love dessert, right? I am that guy. I will go in on some dessert. I don't know what it is about pie, but I'm a cake guy. I would rather have a slice of vanilla cake, a slice of chocolate cake. Shoot, I would even eat a slice of carrot cake before I would eat most pies. I'm not going to say they're not well made and they're not well done. I don't know. It's just too much fruit for me. The pie crust doesn't always do it for me. I like something a little more dense, something a little heavier. than a lot of these pies. So I Thanksgiving's tough for me, Stricky, when I'm anti-pie like I am.
Well, yeah, that's all good. It's something that some people like and some that they dislike. But I would say when you're thinking about Thanksgiving, though, it's a great time when you're around with family as well, man, and you have a great meal. And after you have the meal, you go and sit down. And what is it that you enjoy watching? You know, people who watch movies or people who watch games, or what is the thing that you're putting your eyes to, though, Austin? And to those who are listening, 402-464-5685, you know, once you get together and you have the family events, there's things that are going on as far as whether it be basketball or different tournaments or football. What is it that you're putting your eyes on?
For me, it's hoops. It'll always be hoops. I get it, the traditional Thanksgiving Day games, and those will be on at some point. But if I have control of the TV, I'm flipping back and forth between 3 channels to see what's going on in the basketball realm. For the most part, we've turned on football, but only after lunch, after the meal. It's always been Thanksgiving lunch for me and my family. So we do have the whole rest of the day to watch football. It's never on during, and I appreciate that about how my family does it. Nothing wrong with having the game on, right? Something to gather around. But when you look at, who's been playing on Thanksgiving recently, my family isn't a diehard, hey, here's our one NFL team. We have to turn the game on and watch every game. So we shut the TV off during the meal. And I think, just like last year, everyone's going to be watching Beckett. Like, that's just how it goes. Screw the football, screw the basketball. We got a little 14-month-old wobbling around. So I think I'm going to be watching him more than anything this year, Stricky. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, it's definitely traditional, but my issue is the sport ends up watching more of me than I end up watching the sport. Stomach is nice and full. You sit on the couch, you're watching, and then all of a sudden, you're knocked out. That food sits in, and then you wake up and you consider whether or not you're going to go for a double take, go back in there, get it again. But then you just end up watching games the rest of the day, and it's pretty cool, spending time with family. And then I'll decide on if I'm gonna maybe go and hang out with some friends at a local bar or something like that, and we'll watch more games and chop it up with some friends. So it's a little bit of both.
Are you big Thanksgiving leftovers guy, or save it for everyone else?
I might go in one time for leftover, maybe take one plate, but. It doesn't hit the same as it does coming out of the oven or sitting out being laid out right when you pick it up. So yeah, I can do it probably once. I'll probably do one plate, and it'll be special things that I enjoy, whatever it is that I enjoy, whether it be the turkey or the ham with whatever sides that I like. Oh, I love macaroni too. That's the one that I got to have. A good macaroni is a must. If that's not there, it's a problem for me.
If it's not there, Stricky's leaving. Hands up. This is disputed. It's green bean casserole for me. Like, I love me a good macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, obviously. Green bean casserole, I just think of as one of those traditional Thanksgiving dishes in my family. Most importantly though, Stricky, Did you pack a nice bottle of red to surprise Mama with for Thanksgiving?
No, I just go pick it up. I couldn't pack it. The way that they throw your bags all over the lot, ain't no telling how they would have thrown something on it, or can you pack it well enough to make sure? I mean, I've done it before, but I just said I'll just go and grab one and then go on over to Mom's and hang out.
I love it. 402-464-5685. Plenty more text rolling in here. 8985 says, if there isn't enough gravy to smother everything, it's not worth it. Gravy is the most important. I'm with you, 8985. That's been another little point of conflict for me and my wife. Not a big one, mind you, but she always grew up with butter on her mashed potatoes, not gravy. I'm still trying to get her into that. Stricky, butter or gravy on your mashed potatoes?
I think I'll go with butter. I'll go with butter too. Yeah.
Man,
I don't know. I don't know why. I actually like the butter. And it's the same thing with like any of the like things that look like mashed potatoes. So like, some rice. What else? Grits or oatmeal. Things like that. I prefer butter.
Fair enough. Old Dad 34, homemade ice cream, fellas. Try it. Have tried it. Fantastic. Sometimes takes a while to get the science down. Chocolate pudding pie, pumpkin pie, and apple are his favorite. How about this, Stricky, from Angry Rams fan? Cheesecake is the best dessert ever. You rolling?
I mess with cheesecake. Yeah, I like cheesecake. I like it with just a little bit of the cherry sauce on the top, where you can dip it and just cheesecake. I go with the strawberry sauce too, but definitely the cherry sauce is what hits for me.
D-Man says his mom is a huge Lions fan. Thanksgiving is his favorite time to spend with her watching the game. Yeah, the Lions
Well, pause. It's different watching the Lions now, Austin, than what we used to in the past. It's like I think there was good days. There were good times when you had Barry Sanders, so you got to see him acting in as well as Megatron. So you got to see, those talents on display at high levels. But now they're a little bit different. So a lot more fun to watch them, I'm sure.
Hey, the Lions are that Thanksgiving staple. They get the game every year. And right now, hey, good for Lions fans. They get a chance to enjoy it. They get to put their team out on national TV. But Strick, that was almost cruel and unusual punishment, like unconstitutional of the NFL, to put Detroit on Thanksgiving and subject its fans and really all of America to just the doldrums of bad football that it did for so long with Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, how did we settle on them as a Thanksgiving team?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Motor City stuff. I don't know. I have no clue why that's always been, but it has been. They've been the mainstay between them and the Cowboys, but they're definitely ones that you're going to definitely see over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for my dad to chime in. I figured he was listening to the show. He says his 3 favorite pies and the 3 best pies are pumpkin, pumpkin, and pumpkin with whipped cream on top, for sure. So, yep, knew that one was coming. We always have pumpkin pie for Dad. 0457 says, watching the Cowboys lose after we eat is the tradition on them for Thanksgiving. John Cortland says, give your mom a big hug. Stricky, Husker Speed, no whipped cheesecake. And D-Man says, haha, it's been quite a few sad Thanksgivings, planning on this year being fun. Yeah, D-Man, enjoy it. Soak it up while you can. Stricky, we haven't talked about this. We haven't had shows with the state championships on the last couple of days. And congrats to all those teams and all those coaches on their fantastic seasons. But over the weekend, Strick, the Detroit Lions passed the Kansas City Chiefs for the best Super Bowl betting odds in the NFL right now. What a world we live in, that Detroit is the team to beat in the NFL. Holy cow.
Man. And look, what's crazy is I saw something emerging, man, about 2-3 years ago. Even though they were losing, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same look. It wasn't the same feel. It felt like there was a cultural shift in Detroit there for the Lions. And look, that's when you notice something good about a team, is when no matter how they're losing, you see something in the loss. You see the lessons in the loss. You see them getting better from week to week. When I saw them continuously beating the spreads, I was like, there's something going on there. It's just a matter of just putting the right combinations together, getting the right assets brought in, finding those gems hidden in the rough, and letting them emerge and them becoming what you envisioned them to be, or you saw them to be, or you've trained them and raised them up to be. And they've got that. And that's the beautiful thing. They found their quarterback. They found, their wide receiver core solid in the running game. Defense has been good for them. Some great pieces. They drafted well. So yeah, man, you saw it coming, and it's good to see it all play itself out.
Foundational tackle in Penei Sewell as well on the offensive side. Aiden Hutchinson, of course, out for the year. Got kicked in the shin and broke his shin, so he won't return this year. But that's a big credit to Brad Holmes, the general manager, for how he's drafted, how he's handled free agency and trades. Dan Campbell obviously gets a lot of headlines for stuff he says and stuff he does, but it's working, right? I think that Dan Campbell really tapped into not just, good football, but Strick, I do think that when a team is good, the city takes on the persona of the team. Or when the team is good, it's because it's taken on the persona of the city. Obviously, Amon-Ra is a coastal guy. Jared Goff is a coastal guy. Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously very talented. Penei Sewell, I think, is Polynesian of some sort down the line. Despite that, those guys have done such a good job of fitting into Detroit and really coming to embody what we think of when we think of Detroit, right? Blue collar, hardworking, gritty, may be written off. But here the Lions are Super Bowl favorites in a tough division with Minnesota a game back of them and Green Bay 2 games back. But despite the good records for the other two teams behind the Lions, it's clear that's the Lions division this year, and at least for a couple of years to come, it looks like.
That's what it looks like, Austin. It looks like that's the case. And I think every time they step out on the field, they believe that. And they believe that they are. And that's something that we'll talk about when we get a little bit later in the show, because I'll mention it here, is that when you build a culture, it's learning how to, and you'll hear me say this again, it's learning how to win when the expectations of winning are upon you. You know what I'm saying? It's learning not to have those letdowns. It's learning that week in and week out, we continuously are learning and getting better. And that's what you've seen starting to happen. We could talk about it as far as the NBA. A lot of the things that you thought could have been losses for Cleveland have been additions, have decided to stay and make that place great again, outside of the LeBron James era. You know what I mean? And they're showing, improving themselves as well. Shout out to them and what they've built and what they're continuing to build. And so when you see that culture starting to emanate and be revealed to the watchers, to the masses, then you know you're on to something, and that's what we're seeing.
We sure are. Speaking of learning how to win, be consistent week in, week out, Nebraska football bowl eligible with a win over Wisconsin. We haven't had much time to talk about it. When we get back, what does Nebraska need to carry over from Wisconsin week to Iowa week? Game is at 6:30 on Friday. So on Friday, we will have On the Block like normal, and that'll lead us straight into our A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame coverage. He's Strick. I'm Austin. Nebraska, Wisconsin carry over to Iowa. We'll talk about it when we get back.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. You can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, the Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited. All built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of November. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln at 27th and I-80.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Mulberry Barbecue is Lincoln's leader in great barbecue, but also is a great choice for your Thanksgiving meal. They have packages available for hot meal pickup on Thanksgiving Day from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to take all the cooking stress out of your day. Call the store for details or to schedule a pickup at 402-937-7114 at 11th and Cornhusker Highway. That's 402-937-7114. Mulberry Barbecue.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, take over $11,000 off a 2024 Ford F-150. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004296, MSRP of $66,645. Must finance with Ford Motor Company and have a qualifying trade and approved credit. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/13/24. See delivery details.
As you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. A few flurries are possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, and it will be breezy. The high around 39. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low near 21. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, we'll see mostly sunny skies and a high around 37. I'm meteorologist Kyle Beck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Austin Norman in studio, Stricky on the road. We'll send a couple people on the road to Iowa City on Friday for Nebraska and Iowa. Huskers at 6-5, Hawkeyes 7-4 right now. Both teams are bowl eligible, just playing to improve their bowl positioning and their bowl standing. But Strick, Nebraska travels to Iowa City, dare I say, with a little momentum, right? The loss to USC wasn't great, but we heard from Dylan Raiola and from Dana Holgorsen that they were encouraged by the offense after that performance. Turns out their gut feeling was right. Husker offense puts up 44 points in a home win against Wisconsin. Huskers win it by 3 possessions to get bowl eligible. When you look at the Husker offense, for them to win game number 7 and tie Iowa with a 7-5 record, what are the couple most important things the Huskers need to carry over from Wisconsin week to Iowa on Friday?
Well, there's a few things that they did well, right? It's things that had hindered them in their previous games or some of their close games that they were unable to pull out. A couple of things that you saw, and I'm going to ask you this question. Do you feel, and those who are listening as well, 402-464-5685, do you feel that the Wisconsin game was the game in which you saw a complete Husker game? You know what I mean? With not a half. We talked about that in other times here on the block. Is they played a half. You saw a couple of good series. You had some lacks. So for me, do you feel that this is the first thing, and then I'll answer the question more in depth. Do you feel that this was the game where they played their most complete game, or you felt there was another game that you felt that was more complete?
I think that from start to finish, it's hard for me to say that it's not the Wisconsin game as Nebraska's most complete game. UTEP was a little hairy in the first quarter, but that was season opener. Nebraska really cruised in the second quarter and beyond. Colorado was one of the best first halves we've seen out of Nebraska in a long time. Second half was a little stop and start, little rough. Still win it by again 3 possessions, which is what matters. Northern Iowa fans were on their hands, right, with the long drive that Northern Iowa had to start. Nebraska takes control and ends up winning comfortably. But none of the games in conference play would I say that Nebraska played a complete game. Illinois was actually probably pretty close to a complete game, but more a B game or a C game than an A game. The wins weren't there. Ohio State was probably pretty close to a full game. But other than that, when you combine not just how it looked on the field with the stats and the results, to me, Strick, it's pretty clear Wisconsin was the most complete game Nebraska's played so far this year.
Yeah, and so I think I agree. And so when you look at what they have to do, they have to continue to be disciplined. The line didn't have no tackles for losses.
And no sacks.
No sacks. So you know that there was some push there up front. That's something that you want to definitely continue. They figured out how to use individuals that they have, talented individuals in the running back room as well as the receiver room, different people that they use. Raiola was happy and enjoying the game again. It just looked at stretches where it didn't look like he was enjoying himself. He wasn't having as much fun like he was earlier in the season. It looked like that was back, so you want to see a continuation of that. And his efficiency, his rating was what I think 140 something. His rating was really high as well. So it's always going to be a tough game when you're talking about a rivalry here. Yes, Nebraska overall owns the win total against them. Against Iowa, but as of late, that's down to 9-4 since Nebraska has. Iowa's up 9-4 since Nebraska has joined the Big Ten, but overall 30-21 and 3. So that's going to be something as a part of this rivalry. You've struggled against them since you've come to the Big Ten, and now it's another opportunity. You've won there before. It's another opportunity to go over there and finish off the year on a right note. I think it can change your bowl where you're going to play. If you're going to go to a New York or you're going to go to a Florida or an Arizona or somewhere like that, that's going to be another deciding factor. So where do you want to play? Where do you want to go? Right. Those are the things you got to think about as well. And what it's going to take, it's going to take a valiant effort of going out on the road. And now what I want to see is, can you, with a successful game, is it a continuation or is it going to be a one-off? So you want to see the continued progression on the areas that they've done well, that they needed to improve on. They blocked better on the perimeter. They did a lot of things that helped them to get that win, and they use a lot of different combinations and styles, and using Harburg, and they're figuring it out on how they can take the talent that they have in those rooms and put together a nice game plan in order to get a win. So I thought I saw both sides play pretty well, getting 3 stops inside the 25 Nebraska was able to get, as well as finishing in the red zone themselves. They were able to do that. So that's what we want to see, is just a continuation of that.
I'm with you there. There's maybe one aspect of this game, Strick, that worried me a little bit, and it's when Nebraska went up. It would have been 34-10. Huskers up by 3 full possessions at 24 points. Wisconsin drives right down the field and scores a touchdown, 4 plays, 79 yards. And then Wisconsin's very next drive, they go 5 plays, 75 yards for a touchdown. Nebraska was still up 2 possessions at that point at 34-25. But Strick, we were asking through the first month and change of the season if Nebraska is going to get up on a team to bury them, right? They did a little bit against UTEP, a little bit against Northern Iowa. Didn't really do it against Colorado in the second half, right? 28 points in the first half was incredible, but Colorado scored 10 points in the second half. Nebraska couldn't get on the board. Nebraska didn't jump up on and bury Purdue. Nebraska didn't jump up on and bury Rutgers. Nebraska had opportunities to jump ahead of Illinois and could never do it. So what I think Nebraska needs to carry with it to Iowa City first and foremost is that killer instinct. You are going on the road to probably your biggest rival in the Big Ten. It doesn't matter that you already have bowl eligibility clinched. You can pass Iowa in the hierarchy, right? If both teams are 7-5, they'll look at head-to-head. Nebraska beat Iowa? Yeah, let's take Nebraska for our pick instead of Iowa. And it's now game 12 of the season. Nebraska, I think, needs to start fast, right? Bring your own juice, bring your own energy sort of game. And then Nebraska needs to find a way to not put it in cruise control, but step on the gas. And that's what I liked about how Dana Holgorsen called plays, right? Matt Rule said earlier in the year, we still want to be aggressive in the fourth quarter. We want to be smart, but we're not just playing to run out the clock. You didn't see a shift in Dana Holgorsen's perspective. Part of that was Nebraska being able to run the ball more effectively early, that when they did run the ball late, hey, it looked like it was just part of the normal game plan. But Dana Holgorsen didn't stop throwing, right? He took those easy completions over the middle, gave his freshman quarterback some confidence, some of the best statistical performances that Dylan Raiola's had in a couple of his pass catchers as well. So I think that what Dana Holgorsen has brought to this offense is that sense of consistency and the killer instinct that Nebraska didn't have before. And to me, that's got to travel the 4 and change hours to Iowa City on Friday.
Yeah, and when you talk about killer instinct, you're looking at what do you really have as far as your desires, right? If it's your desire only to be mediocre, then your effort will be mediocre when you go on the road now. Yeah, like I said, we're happy to see the outcome. We're happy to see how well they played at home. You expect that at home. Did it look better or did it look different than the way that they got off and started at UCLA? UCLA, and Illinois, right? When they're at home, okay, you can acknowledge that. Maybe that's the case. But on the road, the best outing they had on the road to me was definitely Ohio State and the effort that they gave. But anybody, it's easy to get up against a top 5 team in the country. You're definitely going to be up. You're going to be focused. You're going to be tuned in. But it's when you've crossed the threshold. And that threshold is like, I can even say for us, an experience of that where there's a couple things at play. We crossed the threshold, had a really high rating going into the NCAA tournament at one point, and we're playing against a team that we felt we were better than, and they played out of their mind, and you come up with an L. But it was us winning the Big 8 tournament. It was a threshold moment for us. You know what I mean? Being the first tournament winner of all time. And there's a part of your mental state sometimes that has a little lax in it. And even though it was a short turnaround for us to have to go and play that NCAA tournament game, you don't want to get overly excited about just breaking that threshold. You still want to show and prove that you're an emerging team to take into consideration as you continue to move forward and grow. My question then is turned around to you, Austin. Has Holgorsen done enough at this point to give you a good feeling about the possibility of bringing him back in the upcoming years?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I really think that what Dana Holgerson has done makes sense, right? If it makes sense to me on the outside watching football, that's pretty incredible, right? But if it makes sense to players in the locker room, that's what matters, right? We've seen guys play maybe a little freer. Dana Holgerson talked yesterday. I was there. He said, yeah, I really did just simplify. These guys had an NFL playbook, maybe even bigger than an NFL playbook in some cases, because of all the guys on Nebraska's staff that have NFL experience. There's a lot on their plate that he simplified, and in terms of roles as well, Strick. He mentioned, again, with wide receivers, which is primarily his area of focus and where he's been working the most, is why do we have guys bouncing around from this receiver position to that receiver position and then this other receiver position? Let's give them one to focus on. So I think the team has taken Dana Holgerson's message of simplicity to heart, but getting back to the basics and being really good at it, of narrowing their focus, figuring out what their role is, playing that role to the best of their ability. So, yeah, I think from just that aspect alone, Dana Holgerson could help in terms of talent acquisition, talent recognition, let alone the play calling that he's brought to the table. It just seems like there's rhythm and flow that Nebraska didn't have earlier in the season. And you can maybe understand initially the decision to go with Marcus Satterfield as offensive coordinator, but it just makes you wonder if Nebraska had been able to get one of its higher priority targets for OC, could Nebraska have had this offense all along?
Great point. Great point. That is something to definitely think about. But I'm happy with what I've seen over the last 2 weeks, even for what I saw in, just being thrown to the wolves, basically, having to prep a team that you really don't. Now you're able to have gotten your feet wet, you're acclimated, you're starting to learn, you understand your personnel a little bit better. And so now you're able to really start to focus on the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different to focus on, like all of us have watched movies, Austin. I know we got to go to break, and I'm going to share this point, but we've all watched movies. Like, for example, there's these movies out there where you have to put together a crew, and I can't think of one right now, but you guys help me with something like that, right?
Yeah.
Right. All those type of movies, right? You have to, everybody does something specific and well and good. There's a guy who knows how to unlock locks. There's a guy that understands the layout and the structure of how to enter and get in and get out. There's guys that are weapons grade, real good at that, and special weapons. And, then there's the mastermind who knows how to, you have a whole bunch of, that's what I believe that the addition of Holgerson potentially could bring, as well, like you said, in the recruiting, I think as well in the possibility of hopefully being able to retain Dylan Raiola, getting some of these guys in here. When he has guys on campus, one of the things that he's able to do is share the vision of what I envision for you here. And you can feel good about it because all you got to do is look at his track record. His track record is success. He can sit down with a running back and have a great discussion about what I can do for you, even though none of these guys were big time NFL guys, but look what they were able to accomplish. This is what I can do for you. There's just all these different things in these conversations he can have with what he's been able to do throughout his career.
Love it. Let's go to break there. We'll play a modified version of the Shootout with Strick. We'll just play the tiebreaker question. We didn't have the chance to give away the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings yesterday. So what we will do is we will give $30 away today. We'll also do it again on Stricken, indeed. The Buffalo Wings and Rings. Get your texting fingers ready. We'll play the tiebreaker question when we get back to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank invites you to celebrate with us. Join us for our Christmas open house on Friday, December 6th at our 70th and Pioneers or 27th and Jamie Lane locations. We'll have cookies, coffees, and apple cider waiting for you, along with the chance to enter our raffle for some wonderful prizes. Come share the holiday cheer with us. We can't wait to see you there. Happy holidays from Midwest Bank. Learn more at www.midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
The Mill Coffee and Tea. Formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things this year and every year and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends as we reflect on what we're thankful for. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Celebrate the night before Thanksgiving with the Lincoln Stars on Wednesday, November 27th as the Tri-City Storm come to town. Bring your family members and friends with you to the Icebox for the 7:05 p.m. game and enjoy drink specials all night before you cut the turkey the next day. You can purchase a Blackout Wednesday package now to get 4 tickets and 2 drink vouchers for $75 plus tax. Get your tickets now for Wednesday, November 27th at LincolnStars.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF trail bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with the Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Early break.
There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on.
Yeah,
they want to bring. Young Ben
situation.
has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just
though.
Fridays.
Just Fridays only.
Game
day only. Game day eve only.
Early Break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. Not on the air for the shootout with Strick yesterday, so we'll play the tiebreaker question today. We're in the Thanksgiving spirit. So, Stricky, here's the question for you. How many active NFL franchises have never played a Thanksgiving game?
Wow.
Active NFL franchises have never played a Thanksgiving game.
And there's what, 33 teams? 32.
4 divisions of 4 in each conference. How many of the current 32 have never played a Thanksgiving game?
14.
Stricky says 14. Over, under, or push his answer. We will give it to texter number 6. We already got some responses rolling in here. The team that's played the most games on Thanksgiving is the Detroit Lions. They've been a staple dating back all the way to the 1920s. Yeah, I think we got it here. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here we go. It'll be 74-79. You are the winner. The answer is under. 1, Stricky. 1 current NFL team has never played on Thanksgiving. Care to guess who it is?
Tampa Bay.
It is not Tampa Bay, but you are in the correct state.
Jacksonvile.
The Jaguars. You are
Wow.
correct. The only team to never play on Thanksgiving.
Some reason I felt like it was somewhere in Florida. I should have said Jacksonville. That should have been the question. Who is the only team?
But we need a number.
But, you needed a number. Yeah, we had to go over under. Dang, I was way off. But I was trying to put something in the middle so that it looks like the listeners was all on top of that. They were like, yeah, right. Yeah, never 14.
Yeah. Johnny Cortland says, come on, Stricky, be better. And Eric says, I just tuned in, but let me just say, Strick, big Thanksgiving pause.
No, there's not been a big Thanksgiving pause yet. I did see a pause, and I have a pause moment. This is an on the block pause moment. If I was you guys, I would not be buying butterball turkeys. Let me just say that. There's a lot of pause, bruh. Check your X feed, check your Twitter. Cats have been acting real bad with butterball. Pause with butterball turkeys.
What?
Yeah.
No.
So big pause.
No.
Yeah, butterball. I don't want nothing from butterball. I'm telling you that. Just go look it up.
Oh, what?
A lot of pauses.
I never agree with PETA, but I think they actually have a point on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! Society is too far gone.
We out there. We out there. My gosh, can you just think about that, right? Like, just
I don't want to think about that.
I don't either, my boy. In the worst of my days, I don't want to think about that pause. But I'm just saying.
True.
Yeah.
Let's go to break. Let's get this off of our mind.
Pause.
We're going to take a big pause for break. Thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show and Buffalo Wings and Rings for the
Austin
shootout with Strick.
Strick. Austin, you see what I got on?
You got tank top on because it's nice there instead of being 35 degrees like it is
Austin,
here.
I'm outside, my boy. I'm on the porch.
Mike, rubbing that in my face.
Thanksgiving.
Up, enjoy the sun. God dang. What I wouldn't give to be Eric Strickland for a day.
Oh, shit.
We're
Love
going
you
to
guys.
break. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orbit, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends as we reflect on what we're thankful for. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, a vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air.
Did you take the trash can outside?
No, that's not mine.
Okay.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us. The things our parents warned us about. But we're not always
was that today? I should have taken it out.
Prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA fighters on Saturday, December 7th with Violence Fight League 2 at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now is the perfect time to go, with Nebraska football in between the regular season and a bowl game. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Midwest Bank invites you to celebrate with us. Join us for our Christmas open house on Friday, December 6th at our 70th and Pioneers or 27th and Jamie Lane locations. We'll have cookies, coffees, and apple cider waiting for you, along with the chance to enter our raffle for some wonderful prizes. Come share the holiday cheer with us. We can't wait to see you there. Happy holidays from Midwest Bank. Learn more at www.midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. A few flurries are possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and it will be breezy. the high around 39. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low near 21. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, we'll see mostly sunny skies and a high around 37. I'm meteorologist Kyle Beck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Coppell Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Coppell, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Coppell Chevrolet GMC.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome into hour 2 of the show, brought to you, like Big Voice Bob just said, by our friends at NEPCO. They're looking for mechanics for their constructors branch of the company, as well as CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete. To learn more, go to nepcoinc.com. Austin and Strick with you for another hour or so. We'll talk some college football playoff rankings, some weekend games to watch here before we get into some Nebraska men's basketball. The Huskers host the Coyotes of South Dakota coming up in about 2.5 hours, 5:30 tip from PBA. But Strick, new college football playoff rankings were released just last night. There's a lot to get to here. Top 4 makes sense. Oregon, Texas, Miami, and Boise State. Ohio State at number 5. But here's where it gets interesting. Number 6, Penn State, right now slated to host number 11, Indiana, in the first round. 2 things stand out to me. Number 1, Indiana drops, but remains in the playoff despite losing to Ohio State. And number 2, the committee has that set up as a first-round rematch between Big Ten teams. Obviously, it's not a rematch, I shouldn't say, but a matchup between conference teams. Penn State and Indiana didn't play in the regular season. Two-part question. Do you like that the committee kept Indiana in? And do you think that 11 is fair, or should they have maybe dropped a little bit less than they did after losing to Ohio State?
Listen, I think they deserve it. People are going to talk about their schedule and so forth and so on, but they did what they were supposed to do with the schedule that was given to them, right? They dominated. They played. They ran into a buzzsaw. It was on the road. That happens from time to time. And I think that there's them still holding it on into the playoffs. I think that's fair. I think it's fair for them. You can go up and down just the rankings themselves, and you can take a look at what it looks like, and I think it's a good spot for them to be, right? Who do they finish up with? Let me see.
They have Purdue.
So yeah, so they're not gonna. They should secure themselves a place as long as they do what they're supposed to do. Again, with the schedule that has been given them, they go and take care of business against Purdue. Don't have a lap. If they have a lapse, it's going to be no one to blame but themselves, right? Mm-hmm. At this point, so it's all in their hands. It should be something to bounce back with. You saw what how you were dominated in the previous game. They weren't able to move the ball the way that they had before. Yes, some in the run. Not really as strong in the pass, dropped a lot of passes. The passes that had been open for them in the past got off to a pretty good start, but just wasn't able to get it going. And it happens like that sometimes. And so I think they're in the right place, Austin. And I don't see that it's unfair for that matchup at this particular time. We still got another week of ball to see kind of how things play itself out.
I agree, but I would also be very worried if I'm the Hoosiers of what the committee's going to do. But I think Indiana's best friend this week, Strick, resides in Auburn, Alabama. You got the Iron Bowl between the Tigers and the Crimson Tide. Alabama's still hanging around the perimeter of the race. I forget if they're a 13th or 14th right now, but they're just close enough. They still have the name recognition that if Alabama hands it to Auburn, wins convincingly, obviously, like you said, if Indiana loses, they're out. But if Indiana doesn't play well and isn't convincing, I could see the committee dropping Indiana for Alabama. I also think that Indiana is probably rooting for South Carolina. There's a big matchup between the Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers this weekend. If Clemson looks good, it beats number 15 South Carolina in that rivalry game, and Indiana looks a little shaky, I could see the committee, having sent its message to Indiana, you better look good or else. I could see them dropping Indiana to potentially put Clemson or Alabama in if those two teams look more impressive this week.
That's very possible. I do believe that's possible. I do also want to acknowledge that I believe that Clemson has the right of way in that decision making process. But again, Clemson is a team that, with the opportunity that has presented them, they haven't been able to hold up to the standard at this particular time. And so where they sit right now, I think it's fair. I think it's fair to take a look, and then you have to have the discussion. Well, take a look at how the conferences has fared, where they took their L's. You can look at the fact that Indiana's biggest loss was against Ohio State. Now, if they play, why would you not consider looking at Penn State and how they've skated in some of those wins and how high you have them? So I think that's a little bit of bias situation creeping in on those situations, because why would you look to kind of move them out? But I agree with you. It does make it it puts it in a potential category of this possibly happening, because I do believe that they would definitely like to see a Clemson team in there as opposed to an Indiana team that's kind of been a one-off at this particular time.
And on the one hand, it makes sense, right? The more bigger names you have, Clemson is certainly not a blue blood when it comes to college football, but they've been in the discourse. They've been in the zeitgeist of college football for the better part of the last decade under Dabo Swinney. But I think, Strick, the more and more that college football expands its playoff, and I hope it doesn't go beyond 16. I think that'd be a really good number for it to sit at. I know the FCS does 24. I think Division I could legitimately could have stopped at 4. I really liked 8. I can see 12, but I think 16 is about where I'll draw the line for college football. But the point is, the bigger the playoff gets, the more you need Cinderellas. The more you need these little teams to come in and make an impact, right? We love in March Madness those upset stories on the first weekend and every so often on the second weekend. But when it gets down to the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and the national championship game, dare I say, as a public, we're kind of done with the Cinderella story. So I hope that the committee, values little old Indiana in the story, that they could bring those kind of casual eyeballs, give people a reason to pay attention, and not go with the blue bloods that didn't live up to their expectation or their promise this year, because I think there's enough of both in here for everyone to be happy. You have, Texas, you have Miami, you have Ohio State. Georgia seems pretty safe in the playoff right now. Penn State's got plenty of history behind it. Even Boise State, right? They've crashed the party in the BCS era plenty of times. Oregon is new blood. Notre Dame is maybe back up. SMU in the playoff right now is new blood. And then whatever's going on in the Big 12. There's enough blue bloods. There's enough history that I think this 12-team college football playoff can't afford to have one or two Cinderellas instead of always playing for ratings.
Well, here's the issue, though, right? The issue is, are you willing to potentially have 3 ACC teams in there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's something that they're going to have to consider. Are you really for that, right? And then again, we'll really get a chance to see if it's big bank take little bank. If it's Big Ten, if it's SEC that are dealing with the smaller conferences. Do you really feel, and that's a question for you also, do you feel that 3 ACC teams right now with what has happened in the ACC, are you still sold on Miami? Because if Miami loses in the ACC championship game, which they'll probably end up playing SMU, because I think SMU will probably get past. I think they play Cal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they'll get past. So my thing is, if it's a close game, it's a good game. I personally think both would be deserving. SMU beating Miami would solidify them, move them up a little bit, edge them up a little bit closer. The SEC teams, they might even get left because a 10-1 ACC winner out of SMU, they'll probably jump Georgia. They'll probably jump Tennessee, and they'll be knocking at the door behind Notre Dame, I think. So you've got to consider that as well. Do you like it? Will it happen? It's hard to say at this point because, again, then there's a 8-3 Alabama team sitting there. I think Ole Miss is done, but South Carolina has a chance to kind of backdoor to the tail end. And I think with who they're playing, they would leapfrog Clemson. And as long as everything goes the same and Indiana wins, I think they'll be fine. So there, I think the one that has the most potential of jumping in and sliding in the back door is South Carolina.
I tend to agree because they have probably the most marquee game here. Texas A&M's maybe a little bit too far down to jump all that way up with a win over Texas. And the Longhorns, I believe, are for sure in the SEC championship game already, given what they've done. When it comes to the ACC, though, Strick, yeah, I mean, Clemson is intriguing to me, but they fell on their face against Louisville so hard. Complete face plant. And after the way they looked early in the year, I don't love the idea of Clemson as a playoff team, but the committee has said, hey, we're at least considering you on the outside looking in. Miami, whether they lose to SMU or beat them, I think Miami's in almost no matter what. They're a wild card to me, right? I don't feel great about them and their chances for a national championship. That offense is so high-powered. It can put up points in a hurry. That defense is gettable. And I'm sorry, but I still don't trust Mario Cristobal. I just don't, right? Good team, plenty of talent. He's a good coach. He's still got plenty of growing up and proving to do. So I get like last year's Indiana Pacers vibes from Miami, right? Can score with anybody. Can they get the stop when it comes down the stretch? And do they have the position for position talent to match up with, say, a Texas in the semifinals? I don't know. I do love that the committee moved SMU up there, though. They've been sleeping on SMU. Just like they were maybe, in my opinion, a little low on BYU earlier in the season as well. SMU's got a pretty darn good resume. They've really handled business. They've taken care of things on their end. And on the one hand, it's little old SMU, right? First year in the ACC, they're challenging for the conference championship. But Trick, can you imagine the sights and the sounds in the Dallas-Fort Worth General Metroplex if SMU makes the college football playoff? That's a darn good program there. Despite a lot of turnover in the team, the coaching staff, the conference obviously moving from the American to the ACC and all that's come with that. I love that right now SMU is in prime position to make the playoff, but I think if they lose to Miami in the conference championship game, they ultimately fall out.
Yeah, and if I didn't have things I had to do on Saturday, I probably would have went to the game. I got invited to go to that game. But shout out to them, man. They basically did something that most teams wouldn't do. They bet on themselves. They bet on themselves that they can raise the bar with what they have as far as their boosters, as far as their ability to get the talent in, great coaching. And they basically sold out for the outcome that they're finding themselves in. They have a chance to finish it off. So to me, there's a couple of trap games that are out there this weekend, Austin, and definitely for me, I think the Notre Dame USC is a trap game potentially. I think USC would love to destroy any possibility of Notre Dame getting a home opportunity. I think that's a huge trap game for them. Texas would love to hold that, but that's a rivalry game, and Texas A&M is not bad. They're capable of stepping up. I'm not too worried, I think, about Ohio State but listen, that's a rivalry game between Oregon and Washington. That game being at home doesn't necessarily make it a trap game for me, but there's a few of these little trap games that are out there right now. A team like Arizona State would be looking to get a really good bowl at New Year's Day bowl, and against Arizona, that's a trap for them potentially, because Arizona at Arizona is that's a tough one, to keep their eye on. So there's not much else out there that I think would concern me, but those are definitely a few of the trap games that are out there. I think to keep an eye on. Now, watch out. I think this is a trap game too. This is probably the biggest trap game for me, and that's Tennessee against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
At Vanderbilt again, Vanderbilt is I think the team that is taken down. 2 or 3.
Well, they beat Bama.
So they beat, and then
push Texas.
Right? Right? So watch out now. They seem to get ready, get up, and have their way when it comes to these big games. That's a big trap game. I think if Vanderbilt is able to pull it off, bye-bye Tennessee. See you later.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because Tennessee right now is ranked number 9. They would be slated for a first-round matchup with Georgia. It's pretty close, Strick. I mean, I think Georgia Tech should be an interesting game. I don't trust Georgia nearly the same as I have the last few years, but Georgia's at least been there, done that before. Tennessee hasn't. Nico Iamaleava hasn't played his best against big competition. It's really been a defensive Tennessee Volunteers team this year. I'm going to throw another sneaky game out to you, though, Strick. Boise State hosting Oregon State. It's on the blue turf. It'll be a Friday game, one of the first kickoffs of the day at 11 o'clock Central. Boise is still in that number 4 spot. I don't think if it was any other group of 5 program, they would be ranked number 4 right now with the first round bye. I think the fact that Boise State has so much history of being the BCS buster behind it, that's why they're number 4. Helping that is that the Big 12 doesn't have a runaway winner. And we still have so many texts saying, oh, the Big 12 is not good. The Big 12 is trash. Oklahoma would be winning the Big 12 if they were in it this year. No, there's a lot of good football being played in the Big 12 this year. There's not an elite team. There's not a dominant team. It's very similar to what we've seen in Big 12 basketball. That's maybe a little different because Houston and Kansas, even Baylor at times, Iowa State last year, are closer to elite than I think any of these football teams are. But I think that Arizona State is going to have a really hard time passing Boise, right? But Boise has to be careful because if Arizona State goes on the road and dominates and Boise looks a little shaky, I don't think the Ashton Genty storyline alone is enough to keep Boise there, right? Boise can drop. They've got a handful spot lead on the next leading group of 5 contenders. Just like Indiana, I think Boise's got to look really good and do everything in its power to hold on to that number 4 spot and not get passed by the Big 12 champ.
Yeah, no doubt. Who for you then has outside of Boise State, like who has a chance at that, group of 5 spot?
Let me pull up the rankings if I can find them. Tulane is next. They're at 9-2 right now. They're facing Army in the AAC championship game. The only other one then would be UNLV. So even with a loss, I don't think that Boise drops below Tulane unless Tulane just blows the door off of people. But UNLV would have to end up beating Boise State to get in that discussion. And then it would say Boise State loses. Then it comes down to whoever beats Boise in the conference championship game and the winner of the American championship game. Right now, you probably give the nod to Tulane. There's already been a little bit of Army disrespect from the committee over these first few weeks. But I think in the committee's eyes right now, given how the ranking's set up, they're planning on Boise or bust right now.
Yeah, I can see that. That's kind of how it's playing out in my head too. I really don't see anybody else really like. I think they get the benefit of, like you said, being the BCS buster and being the someone who has earned their right to be there over the course of their years and still having a pretty successful year as well. So I think I have to agree with you on that, Austin.
A couple things from the text line here. 3880 says, why doesn't FBS do the same playoff format as FCS? They want their own thing, right? They don't just want to copy paste. It's worked so well for FCS for so long, but FBS thinks it can do its own thing, can chart its own path there. 8985 also says it also helps Boise State that they gave Oregon a run for their money and probably should have beat them. On the one hand, yes. On the other, let's talk about wins and not losses, right? That's what it comes down to. Quality losses are stupid. I'm sorry. Even when it comes to the NCAA tournament bubble discussion, I don't care what good team you played close. That is a secondary or tertiary data point. Who did you beat? How much did you beat them by? Where did you beat them? All that stuff matters more to me than Boise keeping it close with Oregon. If Boise had won that game, absolutely. But here's the thing. They lost. And that's a game that these lower conference teams are going to need to find a way to win, I think, consistently if they want to find themselves in that 4 spot. I don't know if anyone runs away with the Big 12 or with the ACC. There's not an Oklahoma-esque power, a Texas-esque power in the Big 12 right now. ACC's been topsy-turvy these last handful of years. So I think that right now, this group of 5 champion is in pretty good spot to at least be in the argument for that number 4 seed. But I think, Strick, moving forward, it's going to get tougher and tougher for the group of 5 champ to earn that first round bye. So, yeah, congratulations, Boise. You played Oregon close. The next Boise State is probably going to have to win that game, though.
Yeah. Okay. I respect on that. Shout out to Corey on the Sutter Hammond text line. He says exactly why SEC teams shouldn't get to jump back in with 3 losses, and that's something that I'm actually fighting with myself. Like I'm like, come on now, you're doing a little too much. It seems like for me when you're taking 3 L's now, what they're going to do is, the strength of the no. I'm not going to overly play that out. I think there are teams that are just as good. I think there's a little bit more parity in the game that we've had before. These games have been really tough. Just look at what happened with Penn State just last week. Anytime you show up on the field and you're not having your best game, you're capable of getting clipped. And so, yeah, man, I'm not for that. Corey, shout out to you, man, on the text line as well.
On that point, I believe it's Big Bird. Yeah, just sent in the text. So does the Notre Dame loss not mean anything to you, Austin? I'm not saying the Notre Dame loss to Northern Illinois doesn't mean anything, but Notre Dame's loss to Northern Illinois and Penn State's loss to Ohio State need to be compared when you seed those 2 teams, right? If you look at the committee's rankings right now the rankings are Penn State at 6 and Notre Dame at 7, and that is because Notre Dame's loss is worse. Notre Dame's loss to Northern Illinois is not disqualifying. Absolutely. Maybe it was earlier in the season, but they've made up for it, right? They beat Texas A&M to start the year. That win is looking better and better. They beat Louisville, who's a bowl-eligible, pesky ACC team who's given some ACC teams some fits. Georgia Tech is not terrible, right? They blast Navy. They blast Army, 2 teams that had some storybook seasons going there. Virginia's been a little bit of a thorn in the side, and now a chance for, I still think, a quality victory over USC, right? Maybe not as quality as you would think for that game. But then you compare their resume to Penn State. Survive Minnesota, who's bowl eligible right now. Penn State destroys Washington in Happy Valley. 1 touchdown loss to Ohio State. Double-digit road win at a Wisconsin team fighting for bowl eligibility. The comeback on the road against USC. The win at home against Illinois, I think, is still carrying a lot of water for Penn State. As is the win on the road at West Virginia. Neither of these teams have unimpeachable resumes, right? But if I look at Notre Dame and I look at Penn State side by side, that's where I take who did they lose to and where did they lose into consideration, right? Both of them lost at home, but Notre Dame's loss was to a MAC team that's not really a factor, and Penn State's loss was to the committee's number 5 seed and Big Ten runner-up right now, Ohio State. That's not the first data point I go to for Penn State Notre Dame. I go to 10 wins first. I go to conference record or the equivalent of conference record for those teams first. And then who did you lose to factors in a little bit further down, not at the very top. Because this is a game, this is a sport, this is a tournament about winning. Who is going to win? Who are the chances with a legitimate chance to win 3 or 4 games and make their way to a national championship appearance or title game win, whatever it is? There's a time and a place to look at the losses, but it's not first and it's not second, if you ask me.
Well, the last thing I'll throw out to you, Austin, is this, and to the listeners, is have we now shifted to that being a more of a key element in the decision-making process as it had been in previous times, where it was computers, it was different rankings, it was eye test stuff. All of that seemed to be more of an element in the decision-making processes. But now it seems, as what you're sharing with me, and you, to some extent, what you can see, it's really more now becoming about winning. And then the other elements kind of find their way into how it impacts you or not. Would you agree?
I would. And I think we can also loop Indiana back into this discussion as we look at Corey's text here on the text line. Why did Indiana drop so far? Because the committee was always looking for a reason to drop Indiana, right? Not a great strength of schedule. Sorry, Husker fans, not really a marquee victory on that schedule for Indiana either. They have quantity of wins, not necessarily quality of wins. And that's why when you compare Indiana and Penn State with the same record, the committee is telling you they prefer Penn State's resume to Indiana's resume, right? Penn State looked better against Ohio State than Indiana did. Both of them lost. But then when it comes to who is Big Ten team number 3, they have a similar data point, and that's a loss to Ohio State. So if you compare those two data points, that's where you get Penn State ahead of Indiana. You keep them there, even though, again, they both lost. I think that's a good spot to go to break. That's a good discussion. Really appreciate you guys and your interest here on the text line. When we get back, we'll talk some Husker hoops, just like Nebraska football trying to carry some momentum on the road to Iowa. Nebraska men's basketball comes home with some momentum off a win over number 14. Creighton Huskers have a home game tonight. What's the carryover for the Huskers against the Coyotes of South Dakota? Strick and Austin, we'll talk about that right after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through Thanksgiving on November 28th, buy $50 in fresh meat and get a frozen turkey up to 14 pounds for free. Also, whole Carver ham for $4.48 per pound, boneless turkey roast for $4.77 per pound, and Busch Light 30 packs or Michelob Ultra 24 packs for $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Heating, AC, and electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back talking some Husker hoops here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you for another 20-25 minutes or so before I make my way down to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nebraska coming off easily its best win of the season over number 14 Creighton. 74-63 Huskers win it. But Strick, despite coming home, despite playing a team out of the Missouri Valley Conference that you would think maybe not on the Big Ten level, I still think there's lots of potholes here for this Nebraska team to avoid tonight. And I think the biggest one is the letdown, right? Yes, you're coming home, and yes, that I think is some relief for the players. But Strick, this is a South Dakota team that averages 88 points per game. It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving with lots of people, prepping for tomorrow or hitting the road. And it's an early tip anyways, right? It's not a 7 or 7:30. It's a 5:30. So despite Nebraska coming home, I'm going to say this is a bring your own juice game for Nebraska men's basketball. I think this is a game they have to jump on South Dakota early and inject some life into the building.
Well, Austin, let's first talk about what they actually did do. Nebraska is one of three teams since 2019 and 2020 to get multiple road wins at CHI Health Center. That is a huge accomplishment of its own, being that they play very well there. They don't lose much there. The only other teams to do it is Marquette and Villanova. But here's the capper on that. of Creighton's 3 double-figure home losses, Nebraska has given them 2 of them, and that was in 2022 and 2024. So let's just talk about that. That is a huge feat that they were able to accomplish. Now, you talked about it because you don't have games over this holiday time. There's something what we call checking out. And it happens on all levels. I can tell you on the professional level, when does that happen normally for us? It's those few games right before the All-Star break, right? If you're not an All-Star and you're not doing that, or you're not going to even if you're going to the festivities, sometimes there is a tendency for you to halfway check out because you're already thinking about being in the Bahamas, or you're already thinking about being somewhere on an island somewhere, especially if you play in a cold climate. And if there's an All-Star game in New York, or like I went to the one a long time ago in San Francisco. I think that was the one where Vince Carter had his show out. And
the elbow and the rim dunk and everything.
Yeah. So I want to say it wasn't my favorite because it was raining the whole time. It was cold. And I was like, nah, I'm not coming back to one here. But that's that thing that they have to make sure they do not fall victim of. And it's that checkout theory. You know, you've checked out, you're mentally checked out, because that, like you said, a team that scores at a high clip like that, that means they're going to be running, they're going to be shooting. You got to be disciplined in getting in transition. You got to be disciplined in covering and running them off threes. You got to be disciplined on your rotations. All of the things that they did well against the Creighton team, which does play that way, you have to do it against a team that you think that you're better than, you believe that you should win this game, and you can't just feel that you're just that dominant of a team that you can just show up and that just doesn't happen. You can't just do that. There's many teams now that just can't even do that part, just show up and just dominate in so many ways. So that's where the trick is, and that's what we're going to see if they've bought in, they've smelled themselves, they feel in themselves, or is it about growth, progression, continuing to develop, continuing to come together in unison as a team? All of that stuff's going to be on display, and you're going to get a chance to see it up close and personal real soon.
Couple interesting stats to throw out here. 5 players for the Coyotes averaging 10 points or more per game. There's another player right at 9.5. 88 points per game through 8 games, 20th in the country, an offensive rating that's top 50. But here's the thing, Strick, it's not necessarily a traditional offense, right? It's not like they're super efficient anywhere. They do it kind of like Texas A&M did it last year. They have the 6th most field goal attempts in the country, in the 15th most per game, the 8th most offensive rebounds total, and 35th most on a per game basis. 8.8 steals per game. That's an active defensive team that's jumping passing lanes. 70 total steals through 8 games. Here's the thing, Strick, too. They'll attack the rim. They've shot the 15th most free throws in the country. This is a team that doesn't necessarily light you up from deep, even though they take a lot of attempts. They're not a great free throw shooting team. They are going to throw their bodies at the rim. They're going to throw bodies at the ball. They're going to crash the glass. And I think that's perfect, right? Because we can see, to your point, can Nebraska be disciplined enough to do the little things right? Rebounding has hurt this program before. Not shooting free throws well has hurt this program before. Checking out, standing around, leaking out without securing the ball has hurt this program before. If this team for Nebraska locks in tonight on terminating possessions, and then on the other side, not just flipping the ball, because South Dakota's seen it like other teams have. Nebraska gets lazy with the flips to start the offense. Yep. Rebound, take care of the ball, and I think Nebraska's in good shape going into Thanksgiving.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's it. Just do that. Continue to do all the things that you do well. Continue to attack. All the things that they do, you do that as well. Mirror that. Attack them. Be aggressive. Attack the glass on them. Transition back. Don't give up easy opportunities. Take care of the ball. All of those things are the things that will enable you to walk out of there, going into your break, going into your little mini vacation on a high note, coming off of a big win, solidifying it by taking care of business at home against a team out of the Mo Valley. They're going to come in. They're going to feel confident. They're going to play the way that they normally play. And it's going to be you can't just look at shutting down any one thing on that team because they all do something well. So, gotcha. We'll see. We'll see if this is a got you moment. If I come back like this tomorrow, Austin, or not tomorrow, but on Friday, like, we'll see.
I want to ask you this question before we get to break. Bach and I talked about it a little bit between state championship games yesterday. Right now, Bryce Williams is the leading scorer for the team. I think we all can see
pause for Eric. This is a pause for Eric before we go to break. Pause. Here we go. Austin.
Strick.
I didn't get to see it, and I didn't get to look up. I was celebrating. Okay. Who won the state for Class A?
It was between Millard South and Westside. Who do you think got it?
Westside.
The Patriots. Millard South got it.
Did they get him?
7-10. Westside's coach Paul Lamongi had a medical emergency before the game, so he didn't coach in that game. Millard South puts the clamps on and runs away with it late to win Class A, Stricky.
Wow. And for me, that's just the spirit of what I'm believing we're going to see in this college football playoff. That's the spirit of it. That a team that had been beaten by Westside at times played them well, but a team that, had been, in some instances dominated by, they pull it off. Yes, I love the spirit of it all. And this is what I'm hoping to see as we get into the college football playoffs. Let's go.
I love it. One more Nebraska basketball question for you before we bring Jay Foreman in for a little crossover here. Bryce Williams leads Nebraska in scoring. I don't think any of us are surprised by that. Second leading scorer right now is Juwan Gary. Whatever you think Nebraska's ceiling is, whether it's NCAA tournament win, NCAA tournament, NIT, wherever they finish in the Big Ten, for what Nebraska's ceiling is in your mind. If Nebraska is going to be the best version of itself, who needs to be Nebraska's second leading scorer at the end of the year?
Oh, okay. As I look up and down, I definitely think Bryce is going to be it. I'm thinking that I believe that Berkay Berukdengel is a guy I would like to see become that second guy. I want to see him shoot the ball well because of his versatility. He is the closest thing that they probably have available to Rick Mask, right? I've seen success with what they had with Rick Mask. I think he's the closest thing. I think if he is second in line where you have that good combination of guard forward alongside with some good interior play, whether it be by rebounding, offensive rebound, putbacks, I'd love to see him do that. I think he shoots pretty good free throws as well. So just being aggressive on that in that manner, and then letting the other guys bang and do all the things to help them to be successful. But I would definitely like to see him. The reason is because I think Juwan is streaky. So with being streaky, now it just depends on their style of play also. Last thing, it depends on their style of play. If they're going to get into transition, they're going to defend well, and they're going to turn other teams over, which allows them to get into transition. And that's where I've always said, whether it's it's running after pushing the ball and running after made shots. Getting him in the open court is, I think, where he thrives best because he's very streaky shooting and he's not very reliable that way. So that's where I would envision.
Gorilla Bear hits you with an all caps pause on the text line. I'll let you go back and look at that at your leisure. I like what you're saying about Berkay. I think that's where Bach ended up. That makes a lot of sense to me for all the reasons you said. The sneaky option for me is Connor Esijan. If he's going to continue to come off the bench, Nebraska's going to need him to score consistently to prop up that second unit with some points per game. So if he's Nebraska's second leading scorer, maybe that's a little bit too much. But I think if you can get 15 points per game out of Bryce Williams, probably 12 out of Berkay, and in that 10 to 12 range from Connor Esijan, then if Juwan Gary and Raleigh Wooster are your fourth and fifth leading scorers, that fits their play styles and their roles in the big picture, I think so much better than them being the second and third leading scorers like they are now.
That it. Yep, that's it. Definitely.
Perfect. Stricky, let's go to break here. We will set you free. Have a happy Thanksgiving, partner. Enjoy your time with Mama Strickland. Pick up some good wine, enjoy some good food, some sweet potato casserole, all that good stuff. We will talk to you again for On the Block on Friday, partner. Have a good one.
See you Friday. Go. Happy Thanksgiving to all the blockheads out there, to your families. We love you. We appreciate you, your continuous support of us. And we want to continue to see you through the holidays. We appreciate you. We'll see you on Friday.
He's Strick. I'm Austin. We'll take a quick break, wrap up On the Block right after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things this year and every year and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends as we reflect on what we're thankful for. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 3rd is $3 off on bacon, 25% off hanger steaks, 20% off all summer sausage, and 20% off all cheeses. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, the Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of November. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln at 27th and I-80.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here during On the Block. Cut East Strick Blue Street have a true and proper crossover. Austin Norman joined by Derek Pearson getting set for Old School. Welcome in, DP. How's it going?
Happy holidays and pre-holiday and tomorrow, football weekend. This is kind of like we have our landmarks throughout the year. And this is one of those weekends where for the next few days we get to start talking about the best of us, the best in us, right? And you and I were just talking, and I think that's a thing, right? That we have to remember to be thankful out loud. So the brain triggers. Yes. The brain triggers the heart. So yeah, it's kind of a cool few days for us to get perspective.
That it is. And we still have, 2 meals available to be claimed at least? And you want to shout out the people that are making that possible as well? Yeah,
it's part of the my mood today is that, first of all, I'm thankful, grateful, appreciative. I'm humbled by the fact that there are people in this community who take care of the other people in the community, because that's not always true for some communities across this country. But to take care of one another, and I put out a simple feeler, and they've done their part, and I'm going to ask you to do your part and support them. So maybe if you don't have plans yet for tonight for dinner, honor these places, go hook them up, or maybe Friday or this weekend, at some point after the leftovers have worked. But we put out feelers, and the people who came running to provide meals, Soulful Casino, Chubbs, of course you hear Chubbs here each Saturday, just talking about Soulful Casino. out at Havelock, go support the brother. Hit him with a "you dig," and it will make him smile. So just go up and say, "Chubbs, we hear you dig," and he'll support that. Our buddy Nick over at Muchachos, making a full presentation meal as well. Those 2 meals have been accounted for. Then we will, in the 4:00 hour with Jay, we will give out a full meal from Mary Ellen's, Food for the Soul, that can be picked up tonight. That can be picked up tonight, anytime after 6:00, and you can just nominate people. And again, I'm not putting a boundary on it and a preference on it. Just somebody that, if you could think of a family that is having difficulty making the Thanksgiving day happen, or the meal happen, there are folks who are spending their last dollars on the meal, and we don't want that to happen. And there are folks who don't have enough. They just don't have enough. So if you know of somebody, let us know. Reach out on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Just let us know. And then here's the thing that happened. Because of that, there was another, our friend Dan Swanson, he provided all the sides for the meal. And then Nick from Muchachos offered another turkey. So we will have a second meal in that hour. So figure 4:00 hour, we'll choose one. 5:00 hour, we'll choose one. And then, at one-on-one with Barry Thompson, we wanted to talk about things we were thankful for, whether it be personal things, sports things, professional things. Barry's competing in a regional, for an opportunity for a regional final for a school that hasn't done it since 1950 something.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Right. There aren't a lot of people, a lot of people weren't alive when that thing was going on. And so there's lots to be thankful for, and we just need to take a moment and say we're thankful. So
let's pause 10 quick seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I don't want to steal too much thunder from you and Jay. I got to get down for the arena.
Yeah,
5:30 tip.
5:30 tip.
So before we get out of here, though, 3 games on our airwaves tomorrow, right? Basically from 11 o'clock on 3 pretty good ones. We get Lions hosting the Bears, Cowboys hosting the Giants, and Packers hosting the Dolphins. Rank those games 1, 2, 3 in your power order.
The Cowboys are always last.
But you can see the Giants beat them, DP.
Those are the rules.
Game, not the team.
Are you really betting on DeVito? Are you DeVito? Who? I don't even know who's quarterback the Giants.
Yeah, it's DeVito still, unless his shoulder's banged up, in which case they have to pay Drew Lock as a snap bonus.
Yeah, right. Like I don't.
DeVito versus Cooper Rush, baby. Fire me up.
Like, and was I the only one that was disappointed that Daniel Jones didn't end up in Dallas to start against them?
That would have been incredible.
Right, like
we needed that to happen cosmically.
Right, like I thought the announcement was going to be Daniel Jones signs with the Cowboys and will start for the Giants.
But I think
Thanksgiving
it's better
Day
for him that he ends up in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's better for him, not better for us. Like I wanted the story. Like I absolutely wanted the story. The game. I mean, I guess the real part of it. The game of the day, the last game of the day, is the best game of the day. Far be it. I mean, we have our Jake Sorensen connection. He's going to be at Lambeau. So we're all going to kind of ride on the emotional roller coaster that is being a friend of Jake Sorensen's. And then all the while hearing Ahman Green give him the business the entire time. Right? That nobody's
like God
letting,
intended.
Yeah,
intended.
Yeah, nobody's letting Jake Sorensen off the hook in that thing. And then the early game, those games tend to be what we expect them to be on a regular basis. It doesn't always, like, the upset version of it in Detroit doesn't always happen, especially now that Detroit's the favorite. And they're playing the
Super Bowl favorite.
Right, and they're playing the Bears. So what would be spectacular, and again, sorry, Nick Sainert, shout out to Harrison Arns, that if the Bears, wouldn't it be great if Caleb put on a Thanksgiving show and it became a shootout in Detroit?
Yes.
Like a Motor City shootout would be spectacular.
To start the day off?
Right?
Yes.
Get me all the way in. I fully expect a 2-0 Giants Cowboys game.
If they could score 1 point and win, I'm sure both those teams would try to do it.
Yeah, it would go to the judges.
Yeah, right. TKO.
Right, it would go. It would not be a unanimous decision. It would be, a virtual draw, but somebody has to have their hand raised. That's kind of the way I'm looking at that middle of the day.
Fair enough. Appreciate you hopping in for Crossover, DP. Appreciate my guy, Stricky. That'll do it for me for today here on the radio. Stay tuned, though. I will be over at Pinnacle Bank Arena, 5:30 tip-off for Nebraska and South Dakota. We got Old School for the next couple hours. Once you're done hanging out with DP and Jay, give me a follow on Twitter. Of course, keep one-on-one with DP and the coach, Barry Thompson, on as well. For Strick, I'm Austin. Thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show, Sartor Hamann Jewelers, and Allo as well. Don't go anywhere. Old School comes your way in just a second.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Celebrate the night before Thanksgiving with the Lincoln Stars on Wednesday, November 27th as the Tri-City Storm come to town. Bring your family members and friends with you to the Icebox for the 7:05 p.m. game and enjoy drink specials all night before you cut the turkey the next day. You can purchase a Blackout Wednesday package now to get 4 tickets and 2 drink vouchers for $75 plus tax. Get your tickets now for Wednesday, November 27th at LincolnStars.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your